Hi everybody, this is Crow the Sandler fan here, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review. Today's movie review is going to be on a movie that I watched for the very first time 2 weeks ago, and of course that movie is a comedy, and it stars Weird Al Yankovic, and the movie's also considered to be a cult classic ever since it came out, and that movie would be the 1989 comedy starring Weird Al Yankovic called UHF. So the plot for UHF is it's about George Newman, played by Weird Al Yankovic, who recently got fired from his job at the burger place, and when George came back to his home, he felt really upset that he lost his job at the burger place, and he doesn't really know what to do now with his life. But then later, somebody informs George that his uncle is retiring from working at a TV station. So George is being chosen to be the new CEO of the TV station his uncle worked at. Although his uncle is not really fond of George being his successor because he knows George would just mess up and he's kind of considered a slacker. But George thinks he can do a really solid job working at a TV station. So when George worked at a TV station, he didn't really like the programs the station was supposed to air. So he decided to make his own TV station called UHF. And then a package came to George, and George basically gave the package to this man named R.J. Fletcher, who's the boss and CEO of another TV station. But R.J. Fletcher told George to leave, but got the package anyways, and of course R.J. Fletcher is not really a nice guy. That's why he's the main antagonist of the movie. And then R.J. fired the janitor Stanley Spadowski, played by Michael Richards, and R.J. hired his minions to take away Stanley's mop, and Stanley was upset that not only that he lost his job, but R.J.'s minions took Stanley's mop. But then George hires Stanley to work at his TV station called UHF, and Stanley agreed to do so. And then George started making his own TV shows for UHF. One of them was a TV show called Uncle Nutsy's Clubhouse, which it's supposed to be like a children's program where George is Uncle Nutsy, and his friend Bob, who works at the burger place, plays Uncle Nutsy's dog, which I forget what the dog's name is supposed to be, but that's not important. And at first George thought he did a pretty successful job making his own shows, but then he later found out that nobody's really paying attention to his channel because all of his shows don't have good effort. But then Stanley helped George by improving one of his shows. Like, he turned Uncle Nutsy's Clubhouse into Stanley Spadowski's Clubhouse, and everyone really loved Stanley Spadowski's Clubhouse, and George was very pleased to Stanley that he improved his TV channel, and everyone started paying attention to UHF more than that TV station that R.J. Fletcher is the boss of. But R.J. Fletcher wanted to find out who's behind the TV station UHF, and he basically wants to shut down the channel UHF. And it's basically what George has to do is make his channel called UHF a big success and have lots of people paying attention to it. And that's what the plot is. So my opinion on this movie, it was really funny. I had a really fun time watching it with my dad. My dad and I both laugh a lot throughout the movie, and Weird Al really nailed it in this movie. He was really great and funny in it. And George is also a very likable character. And I thought Michael Richards did a really great job in the movie playing Stanley Spadowski. Stanley was also a pretty funny character, and Michael Richards is definitely the right choice to play Stanley. And also we got this character named Bob, who is, like I said, Bob is George's best friend, and Bob is played by David Bowie. No, everybody, it's not the David Bowie you're thinking of. I'm talking about the actor David Bowie, not the singer David Bowie. You see, the difference is the David Bowie, the singer, there's a I in his last name, but the David Bowie I'm talking about in this movie review, there is no I in his last name. It's so, in case if you're getting a little confused, but it would have been really hilarious if David Bowie, the singer, made a cameo in this movie. That would have been really hilarious if he did. But anyways, I thought the David Bowie, the actor, which there is no I in his last name, did a pretty good job playing Bob. And there was also a really funny scene in Uncle Nutsy's clubhouse. But George was, of course, playing Uncle Nutsy, and Bob was playing Uncle Nutsy's dog. And the funniest part was is George basically gave Bob one of the dog treats, which of course made Bob puke after filming an episode of the show. That part was really funny. And also Geddy Watanabe is also in this movie too. If you don't know who Geddy Watanabe is, he's best known for playing Lon Duck Don in the movie 16 Candles. Although I forget what Geddy Watanabe's character's name is in UHF, so I'm just gonna call his character in UHF Lon Duck Don, since like I said, different character but same actor. So there's also this really hilarious scene, and that scene actually made my dad laugh so hard at the most. The scene where when R.J. Fletcher's minions were taking Stanley hostage, Lon Duck Don and his ninja suddenly broke in and stopped R.J.'s minions by attacking them and, of course, tying them up. That was really hilarious and definitely not what I was expecting, but really cool and funny. And Geddy Watanabe was really hilarious in UHF. I really liked his character. Although I've never seen 16 Candles, but someday I'll watch it. But back to the topic here. I also like the scene where George decided to make like his own parody version of the song Money for Nothing. Basically he recreated the music video for Money for Nothing, but in George's version it's about the Beverly Hillbillies. And it kind of makes sense because Money for Nothing and the Beverly Hillbillies both involve money, and George decided to make a parody out of the song Money for Nothing. But but about the Beverly Hillbillies, which that scene was pretty good and funny too. And throughout all of the characters I liked, the only character I did not like was R.J. Fletcher. I honestly never liked R.J. Fletcher. He's really mean and greedy, but thankfully though, at the end of the movie, nobody paid attention to his TV station anymore, because George's TV station, UHF, won the telethon, and I'm glad RJ lost. He deserves it for being greedy and cold-hearted, and also RJ Fletcher is played by the actor Kevin McCarthy. You all have never heard of him though, so I've never heard of him. I only know Kevin McCarthy in this movie as RJ Fletcher. But I will say though, I'm sure Kevin McCarthy did a pretty good job in other projects, but in this movie he did not. I really hated RJ Fletcher. He really awful villain and very cold-hearted. But yeah, overall, I have nothing else to say about UHF. To any of you who've never seen UHF, I totally recommend it. It's a really funny movie from 1989, and it's also considered a cult classic. And for my final rating of UHF, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 stars. A really funny movie from 1989. Thank you for listening to my review on UHF. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is me saying, peace out.